Minecraft is a very satisfying game. Not only is it incredibly satisfying to play, but it's also incredibly satisfying in general. Like, it's full of satisfying moments. For example, this sunset. I mean, that's mildly satisfying at least. But with the recent Minecraft 1.17 update, the number of satisfying things in Minecraft has dramatically increased. So today we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of them. SCULK sensor waves. So here we have a large area of SCULK sensors, and on top of those SCULK sensors, we have trapdoors. Now obviously trapdoors make noises that SCULK sensors can pick up. And if we send a noise into this system, then that sound travels through all the SCULK sensors, but then all the trapdoors start activating the SCULK sensors again, and we end up with these crazy patterns that you never know what they're going to do. And you get wild stuff going on. I mean, it's almost like a form of art. Like, look, you can see we've got like spirals happening, and now it's almost going fireworky and it's going off into the corners, but then it's going to start chasing itself around. I mean, this is the sort of thing that I could genuinely watch all day long. Now there's things moving from left to right. It's crazy. I might have to put up like a 10-hour version of this because it's just wild to me. I tell you what isn't quite as satisfying though, the sound. The sound that this makes is horrible. A world of spore blossoms. Spore blossoms have this crazy particle effect, and if you create an entire world of them, then that is just amplified tenfold. Honestly, I feel like I'm in some kind of Instagram filter, and well, it's quite cute. It sort of suits me. Am I vibing? I feel like I might be vibing. The spyglass. I just want to quickly apologise for the absolute slideshow that is my frame rate. I'm loading a lot of chunks at this point in time, but obviously it goes without saying that the spyglass is satisfying. I mean, look, we can see a decent distance. But if I couple the spyglass with an optifine zoom, then we can see a very impressive distance. However, if we go completely insane and set the field of view to 30, then do an optifine zoom with the spyglass enabled as well, we can see just absolutely ridiculous numbers of blocks away. I mean, this thing's impossible to control, but look, our little fella over there is filling a decent amount of the screen. Just look how far away that is. Walking on amethyst blocks. I mean, this is pretty cool, isn't it? I would describe this as a satisfying sound. But what if I give myself speed 2? Alright, that's pretty satisfying. We can definitely go further. What about speed 255? What does that sound like? A, I'm going invisible, which is pretty insane, but B, it sounds like a corrupted MP3. Dripstone removal. Ever since I constructed this thing, I've been excited to see what will happen when I activate this observer right here. Oh, man. Okay, well, that was fun while it lasted. That was very satisfying while it lasted. Now it looks like it's just raining Doritos, which, honestly, that's actually pretty satisfying in of itself. I think my computer's about to catch fire. But it was so worth it. Okay, let's try this again. I've now installed a command block that will automatically remove items as soon as they appear. So that should hopefully help with our lag situation. Oh, man, I'm so glad that I did that. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Well, that was incredible. I loved every second of that. A world of copper. But this isn't a regular copper world. This is a copper world where the random tick speed has been increased to 30,000, which means that random tick events happen at 10,000 times the rate of a regular Minecraft world. So you can see oxidization is already starting to take place. And what I find really interesting about the oxidization is you can see it happens in points. So we get this spread of oxidization. It starts from a single point source, and then eventually we get these big areas of it that kind of spread out, and then suddenly the whole area is filled. Look at this. It reaches this critical mass, and then suddenly everything is partially oxidized. And then the same thing goes for this stage of the oxidization. It spreads out from a point, and then suddenly we reach critical mass, and everything just goes green. All of a sudden. It will happen. Look, there we go. Boom. Green. Green everywhere. Everything is essentially green surrounding us. And then here we have the final stage of the oxidization, and of course it's the same thing once again. What I find cool about this is like grass spread, which is already incredibly interesting and satisfying, but it's like a 4-stage grass spread. And then what's absolutely wild is on the edge of the loaded chunks, obviously we have this kind of area of oxidization spread, that is making its way into the regular copper, and honestly, this is a little bit scary. Grid of jumping goats. This goat seems to be stuck in an endless state of ramming, and is travelling at light speed off into the distance, and I don't know what to do. Where on earth are you going? What are you doing? Honestly, I think that was a lot more satisfying than what I'm about to show you. Phoenix SC found a command that forces goats to jump, and I thought they would all jump in synchronization, but they're all slightly out of time, and I would say it's actually incredibly unsatisfying. Coordinate yourselves! Glow squid pillars. Only good things can come from spawning in large numbers of entities, and spawning in large numbers of glow squid honestly might be one of my favourite things. I think it's the legs, and also the sound as they fly past. I mean, that is... oh, that is beautiful. It's like the best waterfall ever. Wonder if I can add some pulses into the mix. Ah! Beautiful. Removing ugly blocks with moss. The way that moss gets spread using bone meal is already incredibly satisfying, and the look of moss is just... it's fantastic. There is definitely an extra layer of satisfaction when you're removing very, very ugly blocks with it. I mean, look at this. I'm honestly, I'm a tiny bit disappointed though that it's not taking out all the ugly blocks. Give me a second. I've devised a solution, and of course it involves many flying machines. And I would argue those are the best kind of solutions. This... ah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. This is beautiful to watch. This might just be the most powerful block in the game. It is a command block, and inside of it is stored a rather hilarious command. This is a command block that constantly spawns screaming ghosts, and honestly, I don't know if this is satisfying or horrific. But I'm going to lean towards satisfying. This is hilarious. Are you not satisfied by this? I'm very satisfied by this. Drip leaf parkour. With this configuration right here, it takes the perfect length of time to do a full loop, and by the time you return back to the beginning, your original drip leaf pops back up. And then it's kind of a race to not fall through. And you can do it forever unless you're a complete moron like me and forget the order that you're meant to be jumping on the drip leaves in. More SCULK sensor stuff. Look, I'm well aware of the fact that it's a little bit cheaty, me doing the same thing twice, but come on, you're telling me you don't want to see it in cube form? Look at this! Look at it! Ah. It's so cool. It is so cool. I honestly don't know which one I prefer. Do I prefer the flat 2D version, or do I prefer the 3D version? I don't know. All I know is it's wicked, and I want one of these things on my desk. Giant lava collectors. Everyone knows I'm a massive fan of piston feed tapes. I think they're the most satisfying redstone circuit. So having an entire farm that is based solely around piston feed tapes, well, that just gets me incredibly excited. Couple of the fact that you have lava, and then dripstone, and dripstone dropping lava into cauldrons. I mean, this might just be one of the coolest redstone farms I can think of in terms of its looks. I'm sure someone will fight me on that down in the comment section, and I can't wait for it. Hitting a shot that you weren't expecting to hit, which for me is basically every single shot that I take. But I'm going to do something very special for you today, and I'm going to go back to my Call of Duty days. So I've got my target over there, and we're going to go... whoop. Yes! That was wicked! And no matter what anyone says, that was totally my first try. I don't know if FaZe Clan are still doing trick shots, but if they are, just hit me up. Killing things with dripstone. And what do I think is most deserving of death? Well, of course, it is this cylinder of wandering traders. I mean, that was... oh my goodness. Oh, it's morphing. Clearly, we need to sort out this situation before it takes over the world. And... ah, that was bliss. Honestly, I feel better now. On the topic of blissful killing, we've got another one on the way. And this time it involves punching this guy into the void. This guy being a screaming goat. It does seem a little bit sad because he seems very trusting of me, but... that's not the scream that I was expecting, but it was still funny. But come on, we all know what scream I'm looking for here. Also not the scream I was looking for, but still satisfying in a slightly sadistic way. Breaking amethyst blocks. We run on them. Now it's time to do some punching on them. I mean, that already feels pretty good, but just like the speed potions, we can take it up a notch. Let me just warm up my clicking finger a little bit. Okay, getting a little bit faster. And now I think I can go into gear. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I've been practicing all week for this. That is... I mean, that is something. I can't even see myself. I don't know if this is satisfying or it's out of my brain. Look at me go, though. God. Haters will say that I've been using macros, but remember, they're just haters. Jump boosting a goat. Now, honestly, I fully expected these guys to be absolutely launching themselves into the stratosphere all the time, but it seems like they actually don't do it that often. But when they do, they really do enter the stratosphere. And just for peak entertainment, I've also given them a slow falling potion, which is hilarious. Oh, and of course, they're all screaming goats as well, because... you know, they have to be screaming goats. To me, there really is only one type of goat. So let's see. You'll know when one launches because there'll just be a flash on the screen. Oh, one just went. One just went. Did it go so high that it's just completely disappeared? Another one just went. Where are these things disappearing to? Oh my goodness, they're flying past. Oh my word. This is like the strangest power regiment that has ever existed. I don't know about you, but I am definitely feeling satisfied. So now it's time for a bit of a throwback. In my previous satisfying things in Minecraft video, I said that I was going to punch these end crystals, and then I never actually punched the end crystals. So if I just leave this running for a little while longer, I would say we have reached a pretty good level of end crystal there. That is definitely something. And now I guess we see what happens. I'm kind of concerned. 3, 2, 1... yeah, that's sort of what I was concerned about. That is a distinctly unsatisfying way to end this incredibly satisfying Minecraft video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya! Oh, and please let me know down in the comment section what you think was the most satisfying thing in this video. I personally am leaning towards the SCULK sensors. I mean, come on. I feel like that's going to be pretty much everyone's, because there's just... it's mesmerizing. It's impossible not to look away. It really is. Like, someone needs to turn that into a physical product that you can put on your wall or your desk. I would buy that immediately.